Weekend downtown Fountain Inn will make way for thousands of visitors. As Fox Carolina's Myra Ruiz reports, the Small Town Festival captures a big part of the community's history.
Aunt Het, or Aunt Het, never had Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and yet at one period of time she had up to 10 million followers long before social media was even a thing. She's the creation of writer Robert Quillen and also the inspiration behind Fountain Inn's annual Fall Festival.
You know, we want to keep that small town cozy feel to Fountain Inn. You know, I think because Robert Quillen had come from an area outside of South Carolina, he had some commentary on this.
A Midwesterner who moved to Fountain Inn and started the local paper.
And when he wanted to correct something or lead something in another direction, he did that most successfully with the Fountain Inn Tribune.
And with help from his single-panel comic character, Aunt Het.
We are very grateful for him because I think he helped contribute to the tone of Fountain Inn in its early days.
The festival, in part, is a tribute to simple pleasures.
We have everything from over 100 vendors, arts and crafts vendors, food vendors. There'll be crafts and lots of projects for people to get engaged with. We also will have inflatables for the children.
Ian forced organizers to move the event from last Saturday to this one.
The City of Fountain Inn and their departments have bent over backwards to accommodate us and to make changes in their staffing, in their traffic patterns.
Something even Aunt Het would appreciate, they say.
She'd probably throw in, well, I reckon they're a good old bunch.
The Aunt Het Fall Festival runs from 9 till 5 on Saturday. In Fountain Inn, Myra Ruiz, Fox Carolina News.